Hey, welcome back. Just walked through the door. My wife and I went to Sevierville, Tennessee to Smoky Mountain Knife Works, my favorite place in the world. And we picked up a zero tolerance 0562. This is the titanium version. And it's a beast. It's a beast. Look at that. What a beast. It's a beast, but it seems to be very pocketable. Of course, as soon as I got out of the store, I stuck it in my pocket because that's what you do. And it is so smooth and sharp too. I gotta be careful. And it is, of course, a frame lock. If you've clicked on this video, you've probably seen a lot of other videos. This knife has been out for a long time. A Rick Hinderer design. This is the poor man's XM18. XM18s go for $425. And worth every penny, I'm sure. I'm sure they are. Would love to have one. May get one day. I'll have to save up all my YouTube money before I could afford it. And I'd have to sneak it in the house so that the wife didn't find out that I spent $425 on a pocket knife. But don't ignore all this. None of these cost $425, I can guarantee you that. This was pricey. You can look on the website and find out how much, but yeah, it was pricey. But not as much as an XM18. But still not a cheap knife, all titanium. And of course, these are not thumb studs. These are not, the stop pin that would go in here normally is on the outside of the blade. Unusual, but beefy. So, that little stop pin in the back could, I guess, I've never had one, but it could bend, get worn out and wobble around back there, and then you wouldn't have as tight of a lockup. But with these big honking things on the side of the blade, and it catches right there at the end, that's not going anywhere. And the lockup is solid, and it should be for what it costs. Got a little bit of jimping. Ergonomics are, just dead perfect for me. I wear a large size glove, and that just fits perfect. Every finger has a groove, and it's milled and kind of rounded over there, so no hot spots. And the flipper gives you kind of a guard, so your hand wouldn't slip up. Not that I've ever had a hand slip up on a blade. Never happened to me. But it could, and now it can't. Not on this one. And this is kind of a grail knife for me. I've been looking at it for years and thinking, oh God, I'd love to have that. And I just did it. I just went ahead and did it. The pocket clip, I really like the way this pocket clip is done. It is behind the handles there, behind the scales. Look at that. You could put it on the other side. You have to take the knife apart, but you could do it. And that makes it a really deep carry. Look at that. That is a deep carry. I stuck this in my back pocket on the way home, just to see if I could have it in my back pocket and sit on it, because it's kind of off to the side of your back pocket. So unless you have a really large backside, you can do that. You can carry a knife in your back pocket, and this would just disappear in your pocket. No knife sticking out. So really nice as a pocket carry, back pocket carry. Since this is titanium and this is steel, and we'll look at the steel here in a second, there is a steel insert on this frame lock so that you don't wear out the titanium. Because I know I will be flipping this a lot. I don't want to wear out the titanium. So they thought of that, and they put a little steel insert on the back of this frame lock. And it is not drop shutty, but it's really smooth. And right there's the detent. And it's got just the right amount of detent to really throw that blade out there. So just the right amount. And I like the way it's kind of has that ring to it. In a traditional knife, we would call that walk and talk. I don't know if they call it that in modern knives, but clicks really kind of rings when you flip it out there. And then when you catch that detent on the bottom, a little bit of a click. Sounds nice. The pivot looks like it will take a, let's find out.
It takes a T8. T8 would be perfect.
Okay, so a T8 on the pivot and the hardware, and then a T6 on this lock bar stabilizer, which is a Rick Hinderer thing to keep you from over torquing your lock bar. So you can only go so far. And nice, really nice. I really like the pocket clip too. And it slides on the pocket just enough. It's got enough tension to hold it, but you know, it's not going to eat up your pants either. So Rick Hinderer calls this his slicer grind, and it is very slicey. So full flat down to here, and then a kind of a saber grind, or I don't know what you would call that, but it's at an angle. So down toward the tip, it's a full flat grind. And then there's a nice wedge here, and a lot of meat on the point. So a good healthy point there. Not likely to break that off. You could, but not likely. So this is 20 CV steel, and there you can see Hinderer design. And these are each numbered. This is number 12,992. If anybody has 12,991 or 93, comment in the comment section. What a coincidence, right? I'll have to get used to not putting my finger there when I am unlocking this thing. So I'm going to take a little bit of time to get used to. A little bit of lock bar stick, but not bad. I think that will smooth out after a few thousand times of me sitting there flipping it. And I've probably flipped it several hundred already because it's kind of addictive. And if you look down in there, you can see there's that little metal insert on the end of the lock bar. And there's a lot of meat to it. That's not going anywhere. I hope it doesn't go anywhere. A little bit of jimping on the butt and a little bit of jimping on the blade. So it's 4.8 inches long closed. The handle thickness is 1/2 inch. The overall length open like this is 8.3 inches, and it weighs 5.3 ounces. It doesn't feel very heavy, but it's substantial. You know, it's not a lightweight, but not overly heavy. So the titanium scales on one side, this side, are milled out a little bit to save some weight, and it's just a solid slab on the lock bar side. And there's a look at the milling on the side. So the corners are broken. So it's a rolled over corner. No hot spots at all. It's a very comfortable knife. And there's a look at the standoffs. Black hardware, titanium, and very attractive. Okay, there you have it. That's the Zero Tolerance 0562 in titanium. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.